Hey folks, when we started Best Bites of the Bay, our goal was to find some of the best bites worth having in Tampa Bay. Now, each episode has a theme, and today's theme I've been looking forward to since we started. Today's episode, Mexican street food. Now, having grown up on a steady diet of Mexican food and spending a lot of time in Mexico, we're gonna visit 3 restaurants, find bites worth having, determine the best bite of the day on this episode of Best Bites of the Bay. Hey folks, we are at the West Shore location of Loli's, which has quickly become a Tampa staple for Mexican food. They have a really nice collection of Mexican street food, everything from tacos to quesadillas to tamales, quesabirria, which is really hard to find. But my favorite thing here is something that is extremely consistent. It's their sopes. Their sopes, to me, the closest thing to home I found on this menu. They're delicious, extremely consistent. Their masa, the dough that's underneath, very well done. Truth be told, I usually leave here having 1 or 2, but with the kind of agenda we have today, I'll just have their best one. So one of my favorite things about this location is their salsa bar. They have about 6 or 7 salsas. I shouldn't be allowed in this bar. I definitely eat way too much salsa with my Mexican food. This should go with a Mexican Coke. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. One of the things I love about this dish is the authenticity. It's really quite simple. It's a couple of components. You know, you usually have beans, which they do. The topping, al pastor in this case, a little bit of lettuce, queso fresco, slice of avocado, and the only sauce you should ever use with this is the bright green one. It's a little bit of avocado, cilantro, a couple of chilies. I'm sure there's a little bit more magic in there, but it's definitely the one to go with. Lastly, I will say this. This is not a first date dish you order. It is so good though. The only way to go is to dig in. Now, one of my favorite things about this dish is the sope itself. The masa, it's soft inside, crispy on the exterior, and by itself has a ton of flavor. That's how you know it's authentic. And somebody took a lot of care to put some flavor in one component of this dish. It gets overlooked quite often, in my opinion, and it really makes the whole dish work. So you can order your sopes however you'd like. In this case, al pastor to me here is done very well. It's done the right way, on a spit, cut down, sauteed with some onions, and delivered with magic. That was a good start. On to the next. Hey folks, I'm here at Tacos Las Californias with Tampa's first Battle Taco champion, Chef Chris. What should we sample today on the menu?
Our world famous quesadilla tacos. That's what brought us on the map, and you're gonna love it, trust me.
Great, I'm very excited to try it. So Chef, you're from California?
Yes sir, LA.
And what can you tell us about Mexican food here in Florida?
In Florida, it needed something different. I think we brought that.
I tried your food at the show. It was impeccable.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Really happy to be here. Really happy to feature these tacos and some agua fresca.
You ready to try our famous quesadilla tacos?
Absolutely.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So when making authentic birria, you always expect to have a consommé or broth from the birria. This is served with it for dipping, and roasted jalapenos, roasted onion, pickled onion, and an amazing agua fresca of kiwi and pineapple. What can I say? This is amazing. And yes, I am double dipping. Just like I would expect on the street in Mexico, these are filled with cheese and a lot of flavor. Every component could stand alone and be totally enjoyable, but together, this all makes a lot of sense. The authenticity, the home flavor, that indescribable just feeling that you're eating authentic street food. It's definitely here. I know, having been to Los Angeles, the street food there definitely does justice to the street food in Mexico. Now, what Chris has done here is bring a little bit of that to Tampa. In Mexico, you go to a birreria in the morning after a heavy night of maybe a little too much indulgence and ask for a bowl of this. Just some consommé. This one's really good. Now folks, if you've never tried quesabirria, or if you're just a fan of Mexican food, don't walk, run here. The food here is very good. I can't wait to come back. No wonder he's Tampa's taco champion. My favorite thing of all of this is how everything individually is excellent, but comes together to become even better, coupled with a great ending in an agua fresca that's very authentic. You should definitely try it. I'm starting to come under the realization that this might be the most difficult episode of Best Bites of the Bay. If anything is as good as this today, it's gonna be a good day. On to the next. Hey folks, we are back on Water Street at a restaurant called Lona. Now, it is a restaurant designed by Richard Sandoval, and Chef Sandoval is very passionate about his flavors coming out of this kitchen. Something of note, they have over 200 tequilas, over 40 mezcals, and if you're passionate about tequila like I am, they have a locker program where you can store your bottles and indulge whenever you come by. One of my favorite things about Lona is their cocktails. Cocktails here are very well crafted, most of which are featuring unique tequilas like this 21 Seeds, grapefruit, and hibiscus infused tequila. Now, they've used that in this cocktail, Paloma Brava, which is grapefruit, tequila, lime, magical, all the things that go really well with some great Mexican street food. Now, one of my favorite things about this place is something I've been doing my entire career, taking street food flavors and elevating them with presentation and a combination that really works and might be a little different. So I'm excited to try. These are their empanadas on their Day of the Dead menu. So they flavor their masa with a little bit of chiles and serve it with guacamole, queso fresco, and some fresh crema. I can't wait to try. The flavors are already very, very homey. I love it. The plate presentation, certainly exceptional, but it does come down to just how well the flavors come through, and they've certainly hit the spot. One of my favorite childhood memories is eating at home, and one of my favorite dishes that my mother made was enchiladas. She would make them verdes, rojas, it didn't matter. Now this dish combines them both. They call it enchiladas divorciadas, divorced enchiladas. You can't really decide which side to go with first. Just dig in, you'll get through it. So in this case, they're covered with both sauces, so you don't have to decide which one you have to go with. Now, if the enchiladas divorciadas were the two that you couldn't decide who to go with, enchiladas de mole are like the fun uncle you always want to be with. This is where it's at. This is very, very difficult. Mole to me is hard to describe. It sometimes has 50 ingredients, sometimes it has 5 ingredients. Mole is something that changes from state to state, from city to city. Each family might have their own version. This mole, pretty authentic. The accompaniments are all spot on. One great accompaniment Tequila. Street food, elevated. I love it. Now comes the hardest part. Best bite of the day. Huh. That's gonna be really hard. All right, let's go. That was a difficult episode. The only winner here, I feel, is me. I had a lot of really good food today. Congratulations, and thank you to Loli's, Tacos Las Californias, and Lona for having us over and feeding us such wonderful Mexican food. Definitely give it a try. Let us know what you think. Join us on social media. Give us your opinion on bites worth having so I can determine the best bite of the day on every episode of Best Bites of the Bay.